I've been teaching, this is year 12 and a half or 13, somewhere there. I graduated in December, so I started teaching in January. So I'm always never on a even cycle. So I think this is year 13, if technically. Our last two schools I worked at are 6A Oklahoma schools, and both do a full concert band program, a full marching band program, and whatnot. With the classes I teach beginning clarinet, beginning flute at the sixth grade level, and then I'm in charge of basically in charge of getting our double reed kits switched over. And then I also teach middle school concert bands and high school concert bands, in addition to assisting with marching band. So yeah, that's kind of the short story. And you ask why I wanted to do a repair class. Reason why is because I would send piccolos to be repaired, and they would come back and they wouldn't be working right. And I would send them back to be repaired, and they would come back and they wouldn't be working right. And piccolos are finicky, stupid instruments that have a mind of their own. And I don't know that I want to repair them all day long, but I wanted to know why I I wasn't able to convey to the repair techs what was wrong with the instrument. Like I was like, hey, these keys aren't closing, but I kind of understood a little bit. Like I understood the mechanisms that weren't working right,
Mhm.
but I didn't know how the inside of the mechanisms worked. Like when you take out the pins and all of those things, and how and I wanted to learn that part of it. And so I took level one and level two through your shop with Christina,
Mhm.
and they were amazing. I learned how to take a flute completely apart, put it back together. I learned how to take a piccolo apart, put it back together. I learned how to do basic maintenance on harmony flutes, and I use that when I need it. And then, but I also now when I send a flute to the shop, I can look at the flute and go, "This is what's wrong with it." When you go to your repair tech, please let them know this is the issues you're having. And a lot of times I write it down for them too. So that way the repair tech, because not always the repair tech's not always a flute player, and things that work kind of well, you can make a flute work, but even though it's working doesn't mean it's completely repaired, if that makes sense. The finesse isn't there. But piccolos are always just their own beast. And I actually got one back recently that played beautifully. And it was one of those things, but it was because I was able to say, these are the exact things I want. This is the type of pad that I want on it. This is like the pin that, or this is the shim that's not sealing enough. Please look here. And so the repair class gave me better insight on how to identify problems. So that way I have better communication with my repair techs. So that's another thing I learned about doing repair is, taking the repair classes. I rarely, I used to be like, I would look at like estimates of cost of things when they come back and go, oh, that flute costs like $30 to repair it. Oh, then this one has a similar repair. It's probably gonna be about $30. And now I very much when I send a kid to the shop, I say, hey, it might be as low as $30. It could be as much as 100. It kind of depends on what other underlying issues are there with the instrument that need to be repaired.